Well, hiya, BookTube. Bill Ruttenberg here with the Ruttenberg Library. Wanted to come to you today with a video that is going to showcase a couple of books that I got sent in the mail by my good friend Paul Sally from down in Missouri. He lives over in St. Louis, so he's right on the Illinois line, and oftentimes he is able to find Abraham Lincoln related books, and I am very thankful to have him as a friend. He's a very generous guy, and he sends me packages every once in a while with some Lincoln stuff, and that's what he did. I got one in the mail yesterday, and I wanted to show you what I got. So the first book that he was able to get, this is really cool, because if I understood his email correctly, he went to a author talk, and the author was talking about his book, and the book is One Night in Washington, The True Story of America's Most Haunted President by Troy Taylor. And yeah, so there's that book. Here's the author on the back there. And it looks like he's got all kinds of things going on with, ghosts and hauntings, true crime, stuff like that. Interesting stuff to dig into every once in a while. This book that he sent me is from, give me just a second here. Is it let's see. American Hauntings, Inc. Yeah, I read that right. American Hauntings, Inc. It came out in the year 2020, and it comes out of Jacksonville, Illinois. And what's really neat about this one is when Paul went to the author, he got him to sign the book for me. Isn't that kind of cool? I thought that was pretty neat. I didn't realize it was a signed copy until actually today when I got to looking at it in a little bit more detail. I got it in the mail yesterday, but we had to, right after school, we had to go down south to St. Joe. My mother-in-law is in the hospital there with, she was getting some surgery done, and so we were going down to visit her in the hospital, and so I didn't get a chance to, look at these two books in detail, but yeah, I found that this afternoon when I was looking at that, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. But let me read the back of this to you. It says, from the backwoods of Kentucky and Illinois to the White House steps, the life of Abraham Lincoln has become one of America's greatest legends. But there is much more to Lincoln's life than you'll find in any mainstream history book. Visited by eerie premonitions of death, omens, and portents, and prophetic dreams, Lincoln embraced the supernatural from when he was a young boy to just days before his assassination. He had an innate faith in destiny and the ability of the dead to communicate with the living. Forget everything you think you know about Abraham Lincoln and take a trip back in time to discover the true story of our country's most haunted president. Author Troy Taylor lifts the veil from Lincoln's often macabre and eerie life, from his encounters with voodoo predictions as a young man to his eerily accurate visions of the future and his embrace of spiritualist mediums in the White House. Using forgotten newspapers and vintage sources, this is the most complete book ever published about about Lincoln's haunted life. And within these pages, Taylor reveals Lincoln's dreams of death, spirits around the seance table, and how the occult affected Lincoln's life until one tragic night at Ford's Theater in Washington. So I think this will be really interesting. I myself, I don't know that I buy into Lincoln believing in the spiritualist stuff. I think that was more Mary Lincoln's cup of tea. And the way I understood it was Lincoln was always trying to prove them wrong, and but so it'll be interesting to see the author's take on this. I am definitely game to give it a read. So there's that first one, Troy Taylor's book, One Night in Washington. So thank you, Paul, for that. I think that's going to be pretty cool. I would like to have heard him talk about that and see his take on that. But this next one is definitely up my alley. From Rail Splitter to Icon, Lincoln's Image and Illustrated Periodicals, 1860 to 1865 by Gary L. Bunker. and this is kind of a bigger book, more of a coffee table type book. Comes from the Kent State University Press, and it is from the year, let's see here, 2001. But what is really cool about this book is it is chock full of, it goes through, Lincoln's presidency, but it's chock full of all of the different prints and cartoons that were put into, the newspapers. You're kind of getting the idea there. I'm really looking forward to this. Let me read the front cover to you. It says, a copiously illustrated history of the development of Lincoln's public profile from rail splitter to icon is enriched by editorial, news, poetic, and satirical content from contemporary periodicals artfully woven into a topical narrative. The Lincoln images originally appearing in such publications as Budget of Fun, Comic Monthly, New York Illustrated News, Funny Fellow, Southern Punch, and Yankee Notions significantly expand our understanding of the evolution of public opinion toward Lincoln, the complex dynamics of the Civil War, popular art and culture, the media, political caricature, and presidential politics. Because of the timely emergence of the proliferation of illustrated periodical and the convergence of representational technology and sectional conflict, no previous president could have been pictured so fully. But Lincoln also appealed to illustrators because of his distinctive physical features. One could scarcely conceive of a similar book on James Buchanan, his immediate predecessor. Despite ever-improving techniques, Lincoln's pictorial prominence competed favorably with that of any succeeding president in the 19th century. And this comes from Gary L. Bunker. He's a professor emeritus of psychology at Brigham Young University. He's co-authored one other volume on 19th century graphic images and published articles on political caricature and popular art in such journals as the American Jewish History, Journal of the Abraham Lincoln Association, and the Journal of Women's History. So yeah, from rail splitter to icon. Looking forward to really digging into that one. So these two books are going to go great with my collection. They'll fit right in. I've got all kinds of Lincoln books. Matter of fact, it is my plan. I've had some subscribers and viewers that have been asking me pretty regularly when I'm going to do my Lincoln bookshelf tour. And I think what I'm going to try to do is do a bookshelf tour of all of my books, and I will just start down in the Lincoln wing, if you will, of the library, and I'll start shelf by shelf going through those, and seems like there's enough people that are interested in seeing those. And I haven't done a library tour, like a full library tour, since my first year on here. I think it's been at least 5 years, if not 4 or 5 years. I think it's been 5 years since I've done my library tours, my full library tours. And so I'm probably due to go through another round of that and let everybody see what I've got. And I know there's a lot of new subscribers to the channel since 5 years ago. So if you haven't been able to go back and check those out, I'll show off what I've got now, because I definitely have a few more now than what I did back then. But anyway, just wanted to thank Paul Sally for his generosity in sending these through the mail to me. I always appreciate the packages he sends. He knows me well. He sends me lots of Lincoln stuff, and he tends to send me a lot of baseball stuff as well. He works for the St. Louis Cardinals, and so he'll send me books every once in a while. One of my books last year I read was, I think it was called The White Rat, and it was about Whitey Herzog, the coach of the Royals and the Cardinals, and that was an interesting biography. I enjoyed that, and he had sent me some other books too, and I just always enjoy what he sends. One of my favorites that he sent was his book that he wrote, Little Wing, the Jimmy McCulloch story, and this was a really good book, phenomenal phenomenally. I don't know what I'm trying to say. I thought it did a really good job with illustrations throughout the book, and you got a narrative text that takes you through the life of Jimmy McCulloch. And Paul put that together himself. He is a big fan, and through a lot of research and information gathering there, he was able to put that book together. So, go check that out. Give Paul some love and go check that out. I know they had it on Amazon, and you can find it anywhere if you go looking for it. So check that out, and really good story about the music business. Anyway, hope you all are doing well. We're kind of cold here in Iowa. We've had snow in the last week, and we're looking at, according to the weather people, we're supposed to have some more snow coming in. We were supposed to have it at midnight last night coming through today, and we didn't get not a drop of it. And so who knows? We're supposed to get some on Monday, and we prepared for a virtual day just in case with the kids. So we'll see. You never know. But anyway, I hope you're staying warm in all this cold, and I hope you're finding some good books to read. So BookTube, until next time, happy reading.